My name is Frederick Taggart and this is a Golfer's Walk. Today, going to be playing another practice round, playing in the Lancaster County Match Play Championship on Friday and Saturday. So while I've played Conestoga before, it's been a little while. So I'm going to play a practice round. I'm going to bring you along, kind of show you some of the things that I'm going to try and learn and make notes on. All right, so there are a number of things that we're going to cover here. First of all, if you could, consider subscribing. Just hit that little subscribe button. I think it's down here. If you do that, I would certainly appreciate it. It certainly helps out the channel. The goal of this channel is to give you tips and strategies to play better golf. Most of my golf is very competitive, so if you're looking to play competitive golf, even if that's at the club level, I think there's a lot that you can learn or gain from it. We also do some vlogs, playing some golf, including playing with some great players. Like the last series that I had done was playing with a +6 handicap. So if you like the video, please give me a like and let's get started here. So one of the first things that you need to do is to check out the putting green. So right here, they have a really great putting and chipping area. And they also have a little area where you can hit some bunker shots. Now, I certainly recommend hitting some practice shots in the bunkers on the golf course, because the practice bunker could be very different than the rest of the golf course. But it's certainly a good place to get a feel before you go out on the round, and even the morning of. If you know that the bunker there is very consistent with the ones out on the golf course, then the morning of the tournament, it's a great place to get a feel for the bunkers once again, in case you didn't play the practice round just the day before. The thing is, for me, the short game and putting is just so important, and the speed of the greens is critical to making putts. The most important thing when putting and chipping is the speed of the shot or the speed of the putt. And so it's really important that you spend some time on the putting green, getting a feel for what the speeds of the green are. And the other thing is to take notice as to whether or not the green really represents the kind of average green that's on the golf course. If the green is pretty flat, but all the greens on the golf course are very undulating, then it'll give you a little bit of a feel. But it is nice when the green is undulating, just like the golf course is, so you can get a feel for how fast the putts are coming down or how much the putts will break. Yeah, that's why you go to the practice green and practice beforehand. I always remember this golf course having super fast greens. Not a lot of grass on the greens a lot of times, it seemed like. Now the greens are very thick, but not fast at all, which is good to know, because the greens do have, or they did have, a lot of undulation in them. And so really fast greens made it very difficult, and you had to be very defensive a lot of times, but now would certainly be able to be more aggressive. So always a good idea to find out the condition of the greens. A great way to actually see the hole is to look more from the green back to the tee, because the architect is trying to deceive you in what you see as a golfer looking down. So one of the things that I notice is that, of course, it's downhill quite a ways, but from the tee it looks like it doglegs to the right. And while it does kind of move this way, the reality is the 200-yard marker is at the bottom of that hill, pretty much straight away, which means it's 309 to that point. So if you try and cut the corner, you're really just minimizing the fairway. So really what you want to do is be able to hit a shot pretty much straight down the fairway. You don't have to worry about the dogleg. So number 2 is a par 3. Par 3s are critical holes to check out. This one is quite a bit uphill, so knowing exactly how much yardage it plays is always valuable. So number 3 is another good hole that kind of demonstrates the need for a practice round. It's not very long, it's about 370. It's a snap dogleg to the right. It actually sort of looks like the green is drivable, although given the fact that I'm not hitting driver well, I don't think it's a right play. Although it is match play, but it would be early in the round. So what I did was I actually hit 2 different shots here. I actually hit one with my hybrid and my 3-wood to see where they end up out there. See which one I think is the best play. Because for me, my wedges are the strong part of my game, and that's really kind of what I want to play into. All right, so this is where my balls ended up. One right here. That leaves me 124, and one right down here, which leaves me 104, which is actually, when I take a look at my wedges, the 120-24 is actually a bit of a, not as comfortable for that kind of distance up there. I'm looking at much more of a full swing, which is really what I would prefer to have. So I think, unless the conditions really change, I'm going to use 3-wood in a tournament. All right, so we're here on number 4, another hole very similar to the last one, where it's a very short hole, but it's actually a sharp dog leg. And this one goes to the left. Now, this one is a little bit different. There is a lot more room over these trees to be aggressive as far as the area that you can miss. Through the fairway actually is quite open. So I'm definitely not going to hit the hybrid, I don't think. I think I'll take a 3-wood, take it right over the middle of the trees over here, and then see where that ends up. And either way, given the way I've been hitting my driver, although I think I figured a little bit out, I don't think that I want to do that, especially early in the round in match play. Here's what we learned about this. The 3-wood might actually be a bit much here. Both of my 3-wood shots, even though I hit them a little bit right on my target line, have gone through the fairway. Brings this bunker into play, and even these trees up here. Try driver, driver's just too much. Unless you're a super aggressive line and right at the green, it's just not the play. So I think that I'm probably gonna have to hit the hybrid and just play it back a little bit, because it's just too easy to go into this fairway through, or go through the fairway if you just miss it just a touch to the right of your line. All right, so number 5 here. Again, another one, par 3, really good hole to check out because it's a hole that's severely downhill. And knowing exactly how much to take off is really important. One thing to remember about uphill and downhill, which is pretty much the same as into the wind or downwind, you know, if you're playing, say, in a 15-mile-an-hour wind, if you're playing it downwind, it might help you 5 to 6 yards, 7 yards maybe, carry farther. But if you play that into the wind, then it's actually going to play more than that. It's going to be probably 10, 12 yards shorter. And just like that, when you're going downhill, the ball does not really carry as much as it is. If going downhill here, it'll probably play about 10 yards shorter. But if I was playing from down there up here, it would play a lot more than 10 yards longer. It would probably play a good 20. So one of the things that you should do out in your practice round is to practice around the green. Now, many people do that. They'll drop balls and they'll chip and stuff, but it's always really important to hit a few shots from the bunkers. This golf course, the bunkers, there's sand, not a lot. It's not fluffy and light, but it's got a hard base to it. So the ball and the club bounce a lot more, so it takes less swing for the club to come through. And my home club, brand new bunkers this year. Really, it's a ground marble, so it's white and very powdery, completely different than this. So it's always good to drop a few balls into bunkers, hit a few short shots, a few long shots over a couple of different holes to get a feel for what the consistency of the bunkers is going to be. So number 8 here is another interesting hole. It's a fairly short hole, 321 yards, but as you can see, it's very severely sloped for the last 20-30 yards up to the green. And what you can't see here is that there's water. So the key is you have to figure out the right yardage that gives me some leeway to carry the water to get me down into that landing area, but not so far down that it doesn't leave me a shot, because with something that's so uphill, it's going to be really hard to control the ball if you're too close to the green. All right, so I hit the hybrid, hit it pretty well. Looks like I carried it by about 20 yards or so. So we'll double check it, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be the right club. So it looks like I made it by a comfortable margin. I think I'll use the hybrid unless we have to be playing into the wind on this hole, in which case I'll definitely have to hit 3-wood. All right, it looks like that worked out. Ended up being a pretty good yardage for me, which I liked. So one of the things that we haven't covered is the greens. So playing a practice round is about being able to know what to hit off the tee, where to hit it off the tee, what to leave yourself into the green, and then the greens. Now this green has been rebuilt and there is some slope to it, but it used to have very, very severe slope. That's what I always remember. But they've softened it, and given the slower green speeds, it's good to know, because otherwise when you have a severe green, you always want to make sure that you don't get past the hole or to be above it, because if that's the case, then you'll just be very defensive in your putting. So you see me step off the green depth quite often. That's something you should always do. A lot of tournaments will not provide a pin sheet. Some do, which is fine. But if you know that the yardages in the fairway are measured to the middle of the green, say you're standing at the 150 and you know that you have 155, you know the pin's back 5. It's important to know how much room you have behind the pin and how much room you have in front of the pin for your miss. One of the interesting things on this golf course is that in their carts, they actually have a map, and they use the numbering system to let you know where the pin is that day. But you can see it also has the green depths on there. So I won't have to step them off anymore. So here's a good hole to learn a little bit about around the green. So I had a shot in here that was just on the edge of how far I could hit my 8-iron. And the breeze is a little bit gusty. It was up a little, down a little, up a little, down a little. And I thought, well, you know, if it's up a little, I'm going to need to hit 7. I'm not going to get it back there. But here's the thing. What I do know is that as soon as you go over this green, and it's firm out here, the hazard's right there. So you have to know where these hazards or troubles are, because the goal here is better off to come up where I'm at there, which is 5 yards short of where I want it to be, than to be 5 yards long and have the ball bound into the hazard. It's always better to give yourself a shot, even if it's from 30 feet, because it's still a shot. You just might make the putt. So another thing that you want to check out is the landing area in the fairways. Now this particular hole, I hit a shot. I just nutted a 3-wood right on the line that I wanted to. And I couldn't find my ball for quite a while because it's actually right here in the rough. And the reason for that is the slope. I'm not sure how well this is going to show up, but there's significant downhill slope, which I knew, and there's some to the right, from left to right, but it's actually very, very severe. And so from the line that I had picked out, I'm adjusting it to be a little bit more left so that I'm less likely to roll down into the rough. A lot of these golf courses in the Northeast, they tend to be a little bit shorter, but very strategic. Lots of dog legs, positions off the tee. You have to know where to hit it. The green complexes are complex. So hopefully you enjoyed, learn about what you need to do off the tee, in the fairway, and around the green. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. Leave me a comment if you have any questions or what you'd like to see next. Until next time, keep it in play.